Okay, hello everyone, and this is my first video clip about MMA. So I'm gonna be talking about the fight between Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje, and I want to mention that it is just my opinion. You may not agree with it, you may not like it, but it is my opinion, and everyone has a right to comment and to share his own. So, I want to start with El Kukui, Tony Ferguson. In my opinion, he was always overrated. He was always considered that he is better than actually he is. He has some elite elbows and ground game when it comes to submissions and something like that. But uh, objectively speaking, his boxing is not on the elite level, and Justin Gaethje exposed every single weakness of Tony's boxing game. Like this fight actually looked like a boxing fight for me. You see two guys standing in front of each other, trading punches, trading shots. It was very exciting, fun to watch. Those two deserve major respect and significant respect from every single person that actually watched the fight. But I have to say something. Tony El Kukui Ferguson did not have a great, and he had he had a terrible game plan. Like he did everything wrong. He should not trade with a great striker that someone like Gaethje is. If you ask me, Gaethje has some elite striking game and is neck to neck with Conor McGregor. Personally, I think that Conor has slightly advantage when it comes to striking, but Gaethje is way too dangerous in first and the second round, and everyone expected it not to go past the second in case of Gaethje winning. But if it goes past the second, then everybody was sure that Tony will finish it up because Justin proved that that his cardio was shit uh, in some of his last fights, and he used to gas out early. He used to waste his punches, and his corner, his coaches and main coach told him exactly the best thing what he should do. Like they told him not to waste punches, and he definitely absorbed those advices, and the results are obvious and clear. Ferguson looked way too stiff and way too slow for me, or to me, and like his movement wasn't on his recognizable level. Um he utilized his his leg kicks, sorry, maybe well, but you can't just stand and trade with Gaethje. You should try some submissions, or like you should try to take the game to the ground, and that's it. You can't do anything with your bad attempts to do something with your leg kicks. And I think that Justin outplayed Tony even with his legs. Like Tony's legs were chopped at the end of the fight. Like you see, he's slipping there. Look how many punches he ate. Like he's a cardio machine. His endurance is great, but he's way too vulnerable. And this is my opinion. I have to mention it again. I think that Justin Gaethje has way better chances of beating Conor McGregor than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, I personally think that Conor has an advantage when it comes to his match up with Gaethje, because he is a better striker. Gaethje likes to trade, and Conor's left hand is way too powerful and vicious. You know, his left hand is something we've never seen before. I think one of the strongest weapons and one of the strongest signatures of some fighter. But Gaethje is strong too, and his knockout power, punching power, is unreal. And we were able to see it yesterday, because no audience was there, and you could clearly see the punching power from both men, and it was clear that El Cucuy could take and took a lot of punishment and a lot of look at this beautiful leg kick. That was beautiful from El Cucuy, I have to mention it. I was really surprised when I saw that. Look how vulnerable Tony actually is. It looks, to me personally, it looks that Ferguson doesn't have that feeling when it comes to boxing. Like his fight IQ is on a, let's say, big level, but tonight he looked way too stiff, maybe even overtrained. And I have to mention that he had cut weight 2 times this month, and it definitely affected his body, his endurance. He looked a bit weary to me in some point, and 30 years old man taking that kind of punishment is really sad to see, and it's really hard to watch, you know. But I have to mention that Tony Ferguson deserves a hell of a respect, because he's a heart of a lion, really. His heart is big, and he'll fight until the end. So when you see him just circling around and going around doing nothing, trying to avoid Gaethje, that means he's done, and that means he took enough. And you know him, he's like a machine. He'll fight till the end and has probably the best cardio in the whole division. But Justin Gaethje improved when it comes to his cardio. He did not have to go to the ground with Ferguson, which is, I think, Ferguson's fault, because I don't see any significant tries from Ferguson to get the game to the ground, and that's what really, let's say, I don't know the exact word to use. That's what let's say that's what gave Gaethje even more confidence, because he did not have to be worried about being put on the ground. I'm sorry. So you see this 5th round is really hard to watch. Like Tony is just trying to avoid Gaethje, and that's it. You see he just rolls his head. He could not continue, and that's it. You see El Cucuy. I couldn't understand why he did that, but okay. It's great to see these 2 respectable men shaking their hands after the fight, but I'm so sad that we'll never be able to watch the fight between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson. That fight is definitely cursed. They should have fought 5 times, and it was cancelled due to a variety of reasons. But I don't know. If Gaethje loses to Khabib, which is, if you ask me, likely, and if Tony gets Conor and somehow beat him, which is okay, I'll say later, then maybe, but just maybe, Khabib will fight Ferguson finally, and we'll see if it's possible. Now Tony needs to avenge this loss. But I'm not sure that he'll get an opportunity to fight Gaethje again. I think he needs to come back even stronger, and it's questionable if it's possible, but you should never ever count out that man. He's a machine, even though he's 30 years old, even though he took a big amount of punishment and harm. I think he'll back stronger, and I'm sure he'll be able to somehow get over it and to continue his path to the UFC Hall of Fame, because he had he had 12 fight winning streak, and going into this fight he was a massive favorite, even on the bets, and I expected him to win. But Justin Gaethje impressed me with his performance. That man is a monster and definitely deserved to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. I want to talk now about Tony Ferguson versus Conor McGregor fight. If it happens, and it is likely to happen if Conor McGregor does not stay in welterweight, if he does not decide to fight Masvidal, of course. Well, we saw Conor and Cowboy fight. I think that big number of people saw that fight and watched that fight. And you saw that Conor McGregor looked unbelievably comfortable and unbelievably well in welterweight. Like, it's his natural division. Before cutting weight and at camp, I read some stories and I heard some stories that that is his natural class and that he has weight to fight at welterweight. And he looked unbelievably comfortable. He wasn't stiff. His movement was great, even though he had an opportunity to see just 40 seconds of that fight because he knocked out Cowboy cold, and we all know that Cowboy is a great fighter, has a great heart of a warrior, and I think that Conor McGregor wants to attack that welterweight belt. Personally, as a Conor fan, I think it is not possible because Kamaru Usman is a beast and he's bigger than Conor and looks stronger, really looks, and has punching power. So I don't know if Conor accepts to fight Tony Ferguson, because I think I have a personal opinion that he has been avoiding him for years. You know, UFC has been giving him giving him guys that he's capable of beating and that let's say that fits to his game. And Tony is some different kind of fighter. But if Gaethje could beat Tony, I'm sure that Conor would be able to do so, because I told you, I think that Conor McGregor is the best striker in the world and is better than Justin Gaethje, even though Gaethje has some elite striking. I would like to see this scenario. Gaethje beats Khabib, which is unlikely, but then Conor McGregor gets another title shot at a lightweight and beats Justin Gaethje. I'm 300% true. I'm 300% sure that Conor McGregor would be able and would beat Justin Gaethje if they ever fight. If they ever fought. Like, Conor McGregor is more versatile than Gaethje, has more weapons. It is not just that left hand, but he is precise. His accuracy is on another level, and I think he would be able to do so. If we see a Khabib and Conor rematch in the near future, I don't think so that Conor would be able to beat Khabib. Even though if he keeps training that wrestling and ground game, Khabib is just on another level, and he's a classy man, great champion, humble, I do not respect his decision to stay in Dagestan, but maybe he had to. You never know. And generally, life and safety and health is way more important than fighting. Our lives were in danger, and that coronavirus really shake the world. So I don't know what to say. That was it. Gotta give it up for Gaethje. He fought unbelievable fight. His corner was way more smarter, and they were telling him better advices, a better piece of an advice than they used to tell. Then they were telling Tony's corner were telling Tony's. And he definitely deserved to win. Like he was way up on the scorecards, and I think he was 5-0 up in rounds. I hope that Tony will come back even stronger, and I hope to see Tony Connor fight. That would be massive, and that's it. I can't wait to see Gaethje Nurmagomedov fight. For me, Khabib is not an underdog. He's definitely favorite, but I don't know. I don't want to underestimate Justin. I underestimated him going into this fight. I made a big mistake, enormous mistake. So he definitely deserves the credit, and I hope he'll be able to put on a great fight with Khabib and to put on a show, because I see he loves fighting. So that's it, people. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like. If you did not, you please put a dislike. I don't have any problems with getting dislikes or something like that. It's a reaction, and I would like to see if I do or did something wrong. So thank you all. It was my pleasure to talk with you, and that's it. Goodbye.